Good morning, children. Today again we are out here to start our class. Already we have started our social science class, chapter 1, that is tracing a changes through the thousand year. That is a part of your history subject. So, in the first part of the video, we have discussed regarding the medieval period of Indian history. So, in that, we have discussed regarding the new and old terminology which has been used by different. For example, in medieval India was been called as medieval India, modern India as India, and Hindustan was a term used by Mean E. Siraj. Hind was a term was been used in the 14th century by Amir Khusro, and early century Babur has also used the term Hindustan. Now, historians have also collected many sources which help us to know regarding the history that was coin, inscription, architectures, manuscript, which is a handwritten book, and archives. So today we will discuss regarding the social classes. Okay. Now, today we will start new social and political group. So, new social and political group during the study of thousand year between 700 and 750 in a huge challenge to the historians, largely because of the scale and variety of development that occurred over the period. So out here what we can have seen that some changes have been seen out here. So in which portion the changes have been seen in the lifestyle. For example, forest life has been changed to the agriculture life. Now earlier the people used to totally depend upon the forest and they were the forest dweller. Slowly this changes to the agriculture. They started doing agriculture and after that they starting trading of the land. So what happened is during that time some witness was there. What was the witness was been found during that time? For example, Persian wheel was being used for irrigation purpose and spinning of the wheel was being used for weaving purpose. Firearms combat was there. New crops was being cultivated like potato, chili, tea, coffee. So this was the some innovation which we have seen during that time period. Now some social groups have gained momentum during that period. We have get some important during that period. What was the social group? That was Rajput, that was Rajputras, Kshatriyas, who were very valuable and they were the superior and they were the loyalty was there for them. Marathas, Sikh, Jats, Ahoms, Khaistras, that was the caste of scribes and secretaries. Now, in the medieval period, what we can say, in the medieval period also have got three phases. What was that? Hinduism, Muslim and British. What was Hinduism, Muslim and British? Now, Hinduism, that is Hindu dynasty during that time. Again comes the Muslim dynasty, that was the Delhi Sultanate, Mughals, Tughlaqs dynasty. Now in the third phase, the British, that is the brief invader of the British we will start. Now first regarding the Hinduism, what we can say was that there was two basic thing that has originated during the Hinduism. What was the two basic thing? One was a concept and popularizations of Hinduism. That means concept of Hindu and the get popularization of Hinduism during that time period. That is, they started believing in supernatural, that is a religion ritual. And the second was the Bhakti movement, that is loving of the idol worship, that is dietary. Constructions of temple was been seen during that time period. Now regarding the Muslim, but we can say that the ruler which has come from the Arab and Middle East had during that period ruler has come from the Arab and the Middle East, and during that time period, during that Muslim dynasty phase, concept of Quran concept of Quran has gained popularity. Islam was also popularized during that period phase, and role of Allah, that is God momentum that get important. That is the role of Allah, that is a God get important, and Islam was slowly and gradually spread during that phase. That was the Khilji dynasty, Delhi Sultanate dynasty, and Tughlaq dynasty has been gradually spread during that phase. And in the third phase, finally what we can see that British has invaded India. They enter our country India and started ruling our country. And other the most important what we have seen out here, that was a social and economic life has changed during that phase. What we have seen that there was a social and economic life changes we have occurred that could be seen out here. What was the changes? And that changes was on the basic that occur in the life of the people. Whatever changes we have seen that occur in the life of the people. Earlier, what the people used to do, they used to collect a resource from the forest. On the basis of the collection of the resource from the forest, as a forest dweller, their livelihood used to be dependent, and they used to migrate from one place to another. Slowly, what we can see, they have started doing agriculture, and after that they started tilling the land. That was a change that can be seen. And what some small society, in that way changes, slowly small society came up. So in that way a small society had came up. And when there was invention by the Tughlaq, Muhammad bin Tughlaq, during the reign of Muhammad bin Tughlaq, we can see that their region was divided into small society. That means small region came into predominant during Mughal Muhammad bin Tughlaq reign. And what was the most important out here we can see was that the peasant was important out there. As the changes occur slowly, we have seen the coming up of the peasant also, importance of the peasant also become important, gain important during that time. Why? Because peasants started cultivating the land, they started doing agriculture, and for that there was the importance of the peasant during that time. And small region was developed, and each region has its own society. In that way, when during the time reign of Tughlaq, when the was been divided in a small region, that means a small region came into predominant during Tughlaq dynasty. That small region started having its own society. They started maintaining their own small society. And so out here what we can see also, that there was a social difference also started occurring in means of jatis. Means a social difference occurs in means of jatis. That means jati panchayat was there, and each was based on jati or subcaste. Means each jati has its own subcaste, and that was based on the occupation and their background. That means jati was also based on the subcaste, was based on their occupations and the background. And there was a jati panchayat, that is a village during that time was also governed by the chieftain. That means in the jati panchayat the head was the who used to govern the village was the called chieftain. Is it clear till this much? So now next on we will move on to regions and empire. Now out here in the regions and empire, what we will see, that is the religion expansion was there. Religion expansion, in how the religion expansion was there during Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Mughal, Cholas, they have expanded their region in vast part. This glorified the extent of an empire. Like Muhammad bin Tughlaq, Mughal, Cholas, they have expanded their region in a vast sector, in a vast part. So, which shows that there was a glorified extent of the empire. That means, if some power means, that means they were very powerful and they were ruling in such a manner so that they started expanding, and which was a glorified during that time period. Like here is there Ghiyas-ud-Din Balban, that is during here Delhi Sultanate Ghiyas-ud-Din Balban during this time period, that is 1266 to 1286. It explained that he was a ruler of vast empire that stretched from Bengal. That means he was the ruler during 1266 to 1287. He as Balban was ruler during that time period, and his stretches means the area which it comes under during his rule was Bengal in the east of the Ghazni in Afghanistan in the west and include all the southern India, and people of different region, means people from different region like Gunda, Andhra, Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra and Gujarat apparently before his empire. So what we can see, he was also the ruler of vast empire, and he has stretches his empire from Bengal in the east to Ghazni in Afghanistan in the west and include all of South India. Even people from other region also like Gunda, Andhra, Kerala, Karnataka, Maharashtra and Gujarat, who was been convinced by the ruler and they become the part of it. They were been convinced by the ruler, means, and they also become the part of the empire. Now we can see out here the Mughal dynasty started decline in the 18th century, which led to the re-emergence of a regional state. Now Mughal empire has started declining in the 18th century, which has led to the re-emergence of regional state, re-emergence of the regional state. Across most of the subcontinent, the region were lived with the legacy of the big and small state and that had rule over them. What we have seen during that time period, when started a re-emergence of the regional state, we can see that there was a subcontinent and almost all of the subcontinent of that region were lived with the legacy of big and small state that had rule over them. That means, suppose this is a small state and some bigger state, a powerful state was they started having control in that particular region and they started capturing that one, started ruling. So when it happened after the decline of the Mughal empire, this situation in the, that is in the 18th century, after that we can see the smaller region was been captured by the bigger and they started ruling that one. Through the 1000 year between 700 and 1750, the character of the different region did not grow in isolation. They did not grow in isolation. Why? Because this region felt the impact of larger pan-region force of integration without ever quite losing their distinctiveness. Without quite losing their distinctiveness. So till this much. Now next on video we will discuss regarding old and new religion.